Panther people, what's up? What's going on? You're watching Panthers Post with Phil Perkins. Thanks for joining. If you're new here, make sure to pound and keep pounding that subscription button, that like button, the comment community. Pound those keys. Let me know how you're feeling about this Panthers team. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode. My mock draft 1.0 for the upcoming 2022 NFL mock draft. If you guys have been with me since the beginning, I appreciate you. You know that this kind of what spurred my interest in getting into this community. Number one was trying to explain the Sam Darnold pickup, but also just building the team. The Senior Bowl kicked off yesterday in Mobile, Alabama. The American and national teams had their practices, and every single one of those quarterbacks that are starting for each of those teams are someone that the Carolina Panthers could potentially pick up in the draft. And it seems like, according to the scouts that are on the ground and food for thought, it is Scott Fitterer and Dan Morgan. Not seeing Matt Rule as of yet. Maybe he's still celebrating his birthday somewhere. But it looks like they're making the calls right now when it comes to picking up these college players. That's what they're good at. But they have every single, according to the scouts and the reporters that are on the field right now, it looks like still at this point, on the very first day of practice against very little defenders, if any, Kenny Pickett from the University of Pittsburgh, former Temple commit when Matt Rule was the head coach, seems to be the cream of the crop of this draft class. According to reports from Mobile, Kenny Pickett, he's got the poise, he's got the patience, he doesn't have superhuman arm strength, we're going to talk about that a little later, but he's got the accuracy, he's got the zip, but then you got guys who seem to have the traits, and when we're watching this NFL playoffs, you're seeing guys with the traits, whether it's Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, who can whip it, who can run, who can make something out of nothing, get out of trouble when the O-line breaks down, which happens to the Carolina Panthers a lot. You have guys like Malik Willis out of Liberty University, who is just showing his cannon of an arm, despite the fact that he's 6'1", and he is just firing that thing out, and with accuracy as well, according to these reports. And then you got guys like Carson Strong, who has a little bit of a medical issue going on, medical concerns. He also has a laser rocket arm. He's more of a statue, though. But it seems like when it comes to who is faring the best right now, at least initially, for different reasons, obviously, Kenny Pickett seems to be the cream of the crop overall. Malik Willis is making people starting to think that maybe he's someone that they can draft, kind of put on the shelf like a Patrick Mahomes, who has the skills, who has the traits, has the natural traits, but just needs some refining, some good coaching. Maybe that can happen to someone like a Ben McAdoo if they were to take a risk on Malik Willis, someone who has worked with the likes of Aaron Rodgers, who has those traits, and then an Eli Manning, who doesn't have those natural talents like an Aaron Rodgers, but, is cerebral and is calm under pressure. So those are all things to think about when I'm doing this first mock draft. So doing in this mock draft, I'm going to assume that free agency hasn't happened yet. We don't know whether they're going to be focusing on the offensive line. They're trying to pick up some veterans. There is a good amount of veterans out there, but it's going to be more accurate, these mock drafts, when I get to mock draft, 13.0, when free agency does kick off before the draft. And that normally seems to be the best formula. You build your squad with free agency, and so then you kind of fill in the blanks in the draft. This is what I would do if I were Scotty Fitt. And mainly when we get to those later rounds, I'm talking like fourth round after that, I'm not so picking up players, I'm picking up positions of weakness that the Carolina Panthers need to get better at. Then when the draft season goes on and your boy does more research on my own time, when everyone else in my house is sleeping, and then I'll be showing more educational picks in these mock drafts. Let's go! All right, so New Orleans Saints is offering their 18th and a second round pick and a next year's second round. And then the Browns offering their 13th overall pick and a mid-second round. And then you've got the Vikings offering their 12th, 46th, and next year's 7th. I'm going to pick up the Browns offer. I'm going to accept that. And now I'm seeing the Pittsburgh Steelers are offering the 20th overall pick and next year's second. Let's see what else is going on. Then you got the Bengals. That's America's team. I'm sorry. That's America's team. I'm sorry. It's the year of the Tiger. I'm not a big Rams guy, not a big LA Rams guy. So I'm going Bengals all the way in the Super Bowl, FYI. So they're offering the 31st overall pick. I'm going to reject that. Go to pick number 20. I'm picking up next year's second. I'm going to reject that. I'm going to pick. And we're going to go offense. I think I'm going to pick up. There's so many great offensive linemen. Personally, I like Ikem Ekwonu. He seems to be a mauler, and I think that's the kind of culture that this team wants to absorb, to adopt, is a physically strong team, as we see as we played against teams like the Cowboys, run-heavy teams. Their offensive line was gigantic and massive and nasty, and we, with a smaller but very athletic defensive line, we struggled. And it'd be nice to adopt like that. It's a copycat league. Ikeme Ekwonu, an offensive tackle at North Carolina State, could be slated as a guard as well. And when I think about that, I think about Luke Kuechly, who was on the Move the Six podcast, talking about if you're picking up a rookie quarterback, the best thing you can invest in is interior offensive line, the middle of his field, the right in the center of his vision. You get a solid center, solid guards to just get those defensive linemen out of his face, out of just rushing him straight up, all right? So when that's the case, I've seen wrestling clips of Tyler Linderbaum out of University of Iowa. I'm going to pick his ass up. And so this is putting some faith into Brady Christensen that he can become the left tackle of the future for this team. All right. So with the second round pick, so Malik Willis was picked up by the Denver Broncos, so that's super unfortunate. So the New Orleans Saints are offering us the 49th pick and 139th. Kansas City Chiefs offering us the 62nd and 94th. I'm going to pass on both of these. Because I see Zion Johnson out of Boston College, the offensive guard, who at this point, early in the process, in Mobile, at the Senior Bowl, this guy is dominating. Out of all the offensive linemen that they've had out there, including that massive mountain of a man out of University of Minnesota, Zion Johnson is the one that's having the least amount of problems right now. And as I said before, building that middle of the offensive line is the most important, especially if you're going to pick up a rookie quarterback. Boom, Zion. So it looks like I'm passing on all those top-tier quarterbacks into Sam Howells and Malik Willis. Let's see who's around with the 105th pick. All right, so the Green Bay Packers offering 129, 135. I'm going to reject that because I got our guy Bailey Zapp out of Western Kentucky, who put up video game numbers. He's not the biggest dude. He's around like 6 foot, 6'1". Again, not too keen on that because if you take a look at the quarterbacks in the Super Bowl right now, both Joe Burrow and Matt Stafford are 6'3", 6'4". Unless you're a quarterback like Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, there's very little evidence, very little history of quarterbacks 6 foot and under, which those guys probably are, making it to the Super Bowl, winning in the Super Bowl. So this is going to be taking a risk a little bit because this is a guy who has video game numbers in a college offense that allows him to do that. Then hooking up with a guy like Ben McAdoo, who has worked with guys like as I mentioned, Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning, pro-style offense on their part. Could Bailey Zapp be the guy? Or do we maybe pick up a veteran a la Jimmy Garoppolo or Kirk Cousins? Both moves I'm not exactly too high for. Or do you pick up somebody else, another veteran who could cost a little bit less, and you roll with him and Sam Darnold? And then go into next year with the 2023 draft, one draft, I already can't wait. Can you take me to the DeLorean and go forward to 2023? That quarterback draft is going to be bonkers stupid if all those guys were to declare for the draft. I might just pass. And I might go defensive tackle, Zachary Carter out of Florida. And we need guys on defensive line. Our defensive line needs some help. 6'4", 285 pounds, could put some weight on. And we could be losing guys like Daquan Jones as well. All right, Zachary Carter, Florida. Let's go. We'll let the team do the other quarterback stuff with free agency. 143rd pick. All right. Tyre Mumford out of Ohio State. 6'6", 320. Again, I want big bodies. I want big bodies to push these guys around. We got guys like Christian McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard. I hope Amir Abdullah sticks around with the team. You're going to be having either a free agent quarterback or you're still Sam Darnold, who is still seeing ghosts. Oh, and these guys must have been writing this just for Matt Rule. Elite wingspan. Okay, tripling down the offensive line. Ty Mumford, Ohio State. Let's go. All right, the 5th round pick. Offered to trade by the New Orleans Saints. Pass. To the point when I get to round 5, as I mentioned to you guys, I'm going to be just picking on need for this team. And we need another safety to go alongside Jeremy Chin. So I'm going to pick up Smoke Monday, because I just love his name, out of Auburn to double up with Jeremy Chin in the defensive backfield. He needs some help. And there are thoughts out there, maybe Kyle Hamilton, someone, who I'm pretty high on as well as a player and as a man, half Korean. What's up? Actually, also, happy Lunar New Year. Say hey, Bokmani Bajaseo. I just think that's a luxury pick at this point. All right, so we got 3 offensive linemen, a defensive tackle. We got a safety. How about... we need a linebacker to go with Shaq. So why not... I don't know. Something about Montana State. Let's check out... I don't know enough about this guy. Troy Anderson, but you're a linebacker. I'm going to pick your ass up. Boom. You guys are probably yelling at me right now that what the hell is this guy doing? But like I said, once it gets to round 5 and below, I'm picking on just positional need right now. So with the 246th pick, got a punter out of Georgia, Jay Camarda. Or another linebacker, DeMarco Jackson out of Appalachian State. Got a running back out of ETSU. What about a running back? Late round running back? I do like the quarterback out. I do like the running back out of Arizona State. He's a big boy. And also Michigan. Because I think we need a power back to mix things up, personally, on the offensive side. All right. I might have to get another linebacker out of Appalachian State, hometown guy, DeMarco Jackson. You're up. All right. So that was my first mock draft for the 2022 NFL Mock Draft 1.0. Things can change, especially how the free agency period goes, how the Senior Bowl goes, and just see what coaches are around, what quarterbacks go around elsewhere in the league. So let me know how your mock draft is going. I'm going to be continuing to do these on a weekly basis. It's a great exercise, especially as the landscape changes in the NFL. It's going to be great. I'm so excited for this. Maybe more excited than the season, but maybe this offseason translates into getting more excitement for actual football, which is many months away, but hopefully our excitement is actually met by performance on the field. We'll see. All right, like, subscribe, share. Let me know in the comment community below how you're feeling about your mock draft, my mock draft, and also what the hell is going on out there in the league. Talk to you soon.